Hey guys, Andrew here with DrewFit. Want to thank you for tuning in. Today I just want to give you guys an update and kind of talk about solutions for hair loss, things that I've done in the past that I've experienced with, and give you my 2 cents. And again, give you an update. This is, I think, 5.5 or 6 weeks post third session with Scalp Logic. If you're new to my channel or just new to this video, Scalp Logic is the only artist in America that I know that practices the art of subtle scalp micropigmentation, meaning they're using different needles, different tones and ink that make it look realistic to what you already have hair-wise, compared to other companies out there that I've seen that really put heavy dots, heavy coloring on your head that looks really artificial, especially under different lights. So I want to give you guys a couple different views and light settings here in the progress on my head. This is 5.5 or 6 weeks healed, I believe. But as you know, if you've been following my journey, that I'm thrilled with what they do with their artwork. And if you're somebody that's interested in getting into scalp pigmentation, I highly recommend checking out Scalp Logic. I'll leave a description to their Instagram page and YouTube channel so you guys can educate yourselves more if you're thinking about doing this. But let's go ahead and turn the light up on this and hit you with a few different angles. So right here, here's the lowest setting on the light that I'm using. And you can see the more I move my head, the pigmentations shift, just like the color on the side of my head. When the light hits it differently, it reacts differently, which is what I like, because some places, not going to name any names with the scalp pigmentation, you can really tell on some heads how thick and dark the tattoo is on top of the scalp, and it looks very noticeable and fake. And that's one reason that it took me a couple years to fully commit to doing scalp pigmentation. I didn't find any company out there until Scalp Logic that I felt comfortable with in getting this done. So again, let's look at this. Lowest setting on the light, increase it a little bit. Show you the top of the scalp. Really seamless work that they do. And this is what I like. You can bring your head back to where you're not under the direct bright light, and you'll see the hairline appears and looks natural, brings that frame back into the face, which is what I was going for. Brighter, here's a little bit brighter for you. And I think if you are looking into getting scalp pigmentation done, in my opinion, go for the one that makes the most sense to you for what you're looking for. If you want something that looks completely artificial, looks like you just stepped out of your barber shop and they gave you the freshest lines on your forehead, then Scalp Logic might not be the best solution for you. But if you're wanting something realistic, looks natural, is going to age well with you, then I highly suggest checking out Scalp Logic. This is what they do. This is what they're, in my opinion, the best at that I've come across. Now here's the brightest setting. Lean in for you guys. I'm not sure how that's coming in on the camera, but it's very nice and subtle. The hairline here, just fantastic artwork by both Joe and Nicole. Couldn't be more ecstatic. Now I'm gonna just see what kind of different colors they have in this light. This one's more of a darker yellow light, so I'm not sure if that's showing any difference. Now this one's more of a blue, very bright, blinding bright. But what you should be noticing here is how the artwork on top of my head is reacting just like the hairs on the side of my head. That is Mastery in their artwork. All right, now let me just take this down a bit because it is very bright. So that's the 6-week update on my head. Now let's talk a little bit about hair loss solutions. I first started losing my hair in about 2014 or 2015, and being in the natural health community, or being very interested in it, I did all the stuff that they were talking about, the saw palmetto or nettle root to help stop the DHT getting to the scalp and making your hair thin out. did all these natural shampoos and conditioners, and it may have worked, may have slowed it down, bought me a few years. That's up for debate. Then I also dived into things like Nizoral or silicic acid and other topical treatments with active ingredients. Those didn't seem to offer, obviously no solution because the hair kept falling out. And I also did the fibers, the topic fibers. I did that for about 3 or 4 years. It was nice, a great cover up, good solution, but obviously it's not going to help with hair loss, and you're just going to end up needing more and more of it the more you lose your hair. And then I got into the medications. I don't want to say it was out of desperation, but I was just doing some research, looking on the brighter side, like maybe post-finasteride syndrome or issues with minoxidil or being overblown, and decided to give it a try, and kind of be aware of how my body was reacting to those medications. And after about 3 months time, I did notice that the finasteride was working, but I did have quite a few side effects that were not enjoyable, whether it was heart palpitations or big issues of dealing with stress. I feel like I was very irritable, really anxious, would have panic attacks randomly when I was going to bed. Very inconsistent health, I would say, when dealing with post-finasteride syndrome. And I think it could have been a combination with minoxidil in regards to the heart palpitations. But long story short, I didn't like the idea of being on medication for the rest of my life to keep my hair. So I decided, to really look into scalp pigmentation. And I'm so fortunate that I came across Scalp Logic, because they are the ones that were offering exactly what I was looking for. I wanted to go with a very natural looking pigmentation on my head that looked like, this guy just shaves his head and has a full head of hair. He has a good hairline, and really bring that frame back into the face that looks real and not artificial like a lot of artists out there. So that's my 2 cents. If you guys want to drop your story and your experience with your hair loss, I'd love to hear from you guys. And if you guys are interested in finding out more about Scalp Logic, I will leave their information in the description below. Or if you want to shoot me a message as well or a comment, you can find me on Instagram at DrewFit. And also, guys, don't forget to subscribe. Thank you for watching.